All right, let's get going. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday to you. Happy Lego release day. August 1st releases are out today. And I was able to get to the store. I had today off, so I bought a few things. A couple for me, one for Beth. And there was, when I got there, at about an hour and a half before the store opened, or what I thought was an hour and a half before the store opened, there's already about 20 people in line. And by the time it got 2 or 3 people past me, something had already sold out, and I don't know what that is yet. But I think it was probably the One Piece pirate ship. I think a lot of people were there for the One Piece sets. I was there for the Soundwave set, and so we will go ahead and start building. I was there for the Soundwave set. And K2SO. I got Soundwave and K2SO. And then a handful of other things. The little arcade cabinet, the stand-up arcade cabinet. So a little glare on that, sorry. And then I got Beth. She wanted a Wicked set, so I got the buildable Glinda and Elphaba set figures, the buildable figures for them. And then whatever gift with purchase I got, which I think was the Fortnite brickheads. Know nothing about Fortnite, know nothing about who these characters are, but I have it. So since it's not something I'm probably going to want to build, it's going to go in my stack of gift with purchases, and maybe I'll give it away at some point. So this was the big reason to go to the store today, is Soundwave. And not only am I super excited to do this, but Brickset's already got the instructions up, so they must have a pipeline of registered fan media who already have this set and are able to, and they maybe as an online community get this early enough to where they can digitize the instructions. So very fortunate this is up here. I feel like it might still be available on lego.com. But yeah, so we can get building. Now there are 3 Transformers officially. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and now Soundwave. And I like that Soundwave comes with a little version of himself, I hope we get to that soon. I think that's going to be fun. So I did get K2SO, and I got this cabinet as well, the arcade machine. I thought this was you can only get this in the store, but I think I was wrong. I think you can get this online. I thought there was something where you could only get something in the store, and now I can't remember what it was. There's also the gift with purchase today. I hate my rolling chair. Half the time I bend over to pick up something and it rolls away from me, and I try to sit back down and it's not there anymore. Oh, camera locked up. Cool. 1 second. There was an update for Prism Live, and it doesn't seem to have fixed the bus use or whatever. So anyway, this was one of the gift with purchases today. This is going to change. Also, if you were to buy $25 worth of botanicals, you will get, I don't think I have it on me anymore, but there's the dandelion, the field flowers or whatever, polybag. So, but yeah, I'm going to stick this with my other gift with purchase sets, and we'll just go from there. So, Soundwave, going to crack it open. I appreciate y'all being here, whoever's in the chat currently. Last night we went to trivia, so I wasn't able to stream last night. And I didn't really want to do a stream on a Friday night, so I was like, well, I got the day off. I'll just go to the Lego store, come home. Hi, baby. Hi. How are you? Come here. Come here. Come here. You don't want to come here? Okay. Somebody wants my attention. They may need to go outside. But it's a little too late because I've already started the stream. Oh, there's some more in there. There's even more in there. Something's stuck. So happy Friday to all of you who are tuned in. Thank you again for being here. Appreciate it. We've got a single paper bag out of all the plastic bags here. This does look like it comes with a sticker sheet. So there's your sticker sheet, mostly for the plaque that'll go with it, the stand. I'm guessing a lot of these speaker, these are for the batteries, and then probably for its legs. And I think the rest of it might be more visible during its transformation. So keeping the instruction booklet. Again, you should be able to still get points, insider points, but I think you have to have the Lego app. And I haven't done that yet, the Builder app. So I've been saving all my instructions just in case, but it used to be that you could just scan the QR code and it'd take you to the site and you get points, right? As long as you're logged in. Now I think you have to have the Lego Builder app and you can scan still, but it won't do anything until you open that app. I'm not really sure how it works. So that may be something to look into later. Let's see, I'm gonna turn this down so I don't get distracted. My family has been very text happy today, so I'm gonna make sure to keep that off. So I'm gonna leave one bag 1 and 2 look like they're pretty quick. It looks like this, it has a total of 9, 12. We got 12 bags. So this may be a multi-day stream. But we'll get started. Bag 1 and 2 out. So how's everybody's day going? Has everybody been to their Lego store yet today? Are you planning on going? Did you go early? If you don't have one by you, were you able to online get your Lego sets that you wanted for August 1st? Also, if you're in the chat, let me know how the sound is. If you can hear me, if you can see everything, if you can hear the music. I'm very excited for this. This is supposed to have a lot of interesting features. There's play features. There's even a little thing in here that talks about, like, this is going to be a battery. This is going to have battery information. Basically, this piece of paper says don't eat batteries. So somebody did at one point and they got sued, and so now they got to do this where they got to tell people not to eat batteries. The world we live in, right? Hey George, what's up? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, I so rarely buy stuff anymore that I don't really... I worry about it going out of stock more than I am getting a good GWP out of it. And I don't think the next I think the next GWP is more Fortnite stuff. But I don't know. So we get a turquoise brick separator with this one. Hey, the original Soundwave toy released in '84 had yellow eyes. In the series, his eyes were red. This set includes both colors. Neat. I wonder how you can easily switch those out. I can convert Ravage into his stealthy panther-like robot mode, including proton bomb launchers. Transform Ravage. Oh, that's just French. It looks like, yeah, so you can have, it comes with the 2 tapes, Ravage and Laserbeak, so that's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to what, now that Soundwave's out, who is going to be... I'd also be interested to know where they got the art, who they commissioned for the art. I know a few people in the comic book world that have drawn for IDW and Transformers. I'd be interested to know if this was one of them. So, but here we go, bag one. So happy Friday to everybody. I hope you're having a good day. Right off the bat, cool. New piece. It's been a while since I've just seen a light blue-gray slope, so that's fun to see. Already got a printed tile for the radio, or for the 2 tapes, it looks like. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to mine for a while. Oh, and we've got new 1x5 color. We now have dark blue. To add that to the list. And now we have dark blue 1x2 or 1x1 by 2/3. That's a new color for that part. Yeah, I still have quite a few GWPs that I just haven't opened. So this will be a good giveaway at some point for a Dirty Brickster or something. We shall see. So how are you, George? How's your Friday? I hope you're having a good day. My day has consisted of waking up early, going to get coffee, on the way to the Lego store. Waited about an hour for the Lego store to open. They opened it at 9:30 for us, so that was nice instead of 10 o'clock. But also, they only let in a few people at a time, which was nice because then I could go in and it wasn't a madhouse, right? And they came down the line with the little sticky notes, and they were, asking what people wanted, and they said they'll go ahead and set it aside for you when you get in. Also, 3x3 in dark blue. I don't have any of those, so that's cool. So by the time it got a little past me, she was like, all right, well, we're out of that. We've already, we've only got 20 copies and they've already been spoken for. So I think it was the One Piece pirate ship. I think that's what most people were there for. So, oh yeah, cool. Cool. But yeah, by the time they, oh, I see. So this one could either, when you're in this mode, this is Soundwave on the small mode. This is what you put on the stand, right? And you can have either cassette in there showing which one he's got. So this is kind of, I don't like these sometimes where it says, hey, like the Cars sets, the creator expert that were like the Porsche and the old truck or the Mustang or something like that, where they had different license plates. It's like, that's cool and all, but where do I put the other license plates? In the trunk? It's kind of like, I get the idea. It's just, I don't know where I'm going to be storing that. So, but we'll put him down here for now. What's up, Brian? How's it going? I hope you're having a good Friday. So we went out to trivia last night to High Sign. For you Austin people, High Sign is a brewery down in like East Central. It's on like 7th and I don't know the cross street, but kind of close to 183. Did trivia, did some Geeks Who Drink with kind of a normal, there's some folks at work who we go out and do trivia at different places. And we're running 3rd, 4th place usually. What trips us up a lot of times is sports and music. Music, because most of the people in the group are not my age, but close to my age, 40s, right? And we've got one guy who's in his late 20s, and But they play music that's like, you know, top 40 kind of stuff you may not hear if you only listen to NPR or audiobook. So unless it's classic rock, I'm really not going to know it. It was just standard. It wasn't the Jeopardy thing or the small batch or Musinga. It's just standard Geeks Who Drink. This time we did pretty good on the music round because it was, I forget what the theme was for it. Because usually they have like this word has to be in the title, or it was the lyric or song title has something to do with going to the doctor or visiting a physician or something like that in either the title or the lyric. So like an example would be Dr. Feelgood or Let's Go Crazy, when the lyric in the song says Doctor, everything's gonna be all right, right? So the song has to have depiction of going to a physician of some kind. So that one we actually did really well on, and our rule of thumb is always if we think we've got about 7 right or about 14 points, then we'll joker it. And jokering just means you double your points on that round. So we only got 13, but we had a couple other rounds that we did really good on, pulled some answers out of our butts. And at one point, our team name was in third place. So we get the host, the trivia host, to say in fourth place, in third place. It's really fun. That's kind of our standard if we don't have one that's like based off the news of the day or something like that. But we ended up winning. We got in first place, in third place. It was kind of fun. And it was we were just sitting there kind of chewing the fat because we thought we were in fourth or fifth at least at the last scoring break. And then one of our guys had his phone just watching it, and the scores updated. He went, "Oh my God, we won!" Like, really? That's awesome. Never happens. So that was cool. Still playing some Death Stranding. I think I'm close to the end of the game, which makes me a little sad because I've played it about 60 hours, and I feel like I've not done a lot. So I'm gonna find out if it's gonna affect much of the story if I just go back to some older locations and pick up some orders and finish some roads and stuff like that. Because I kind of don't want it to be over yet. Yeah, if you've got some. When I was being rung up, and I can't tell Beth how much I spent today, but some of it's for her, so. They're like, do you want to use any of your points? And I was like, do I have any? And they looked and said, nah, you got $1. I'm like, yeah, I thought I remembered that I used a lot of my points for getting the moon car, so I didn't think I had any left. But they were all very nice at the store, and you had to do the survey. So they all get their kudos from the home office. Oh, the youngest was at lunch with his mom today. That's nice. Oh, very cool. I'm excited about this. Very excited about that. Little Decepticon tile. Super neat. Alright, so we've got that. There's another game that someone suggested that I play after Death Stranding. I can't remember what it is now. But this represents the spending for the month, so I may have to wait a little bit. Go back to Battlefront for a hot second. Because I also have to do some work on my car. I think it needs brake pads and I need to get it inspected. And we'll just go from there. Is the tile a rub sign? God, can you imagine? That would be great. No, it's just a print. But can you imagine if it was the hologram, the heat sensitive? Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, so I got to the mall where the store is today. Don't forget that you've got a parts order oh yeah. Oof. I didn't spend that much on that one this time. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I remember that's coming up. We also may have a line into, I haven't forwarded this on yet, but DFW Lug got their project support approved. And so they emailed the rest of the ambassadors and asked if any of our group would be interested in one of their projects. And they got 3, and they got all 3 approved. They are focusing heavily on interaction with the public. So there's going to be a couple smaller things to build, but then the majority of it is to encourage, then they'll have they ordered a parts list, and it is to encourage play with other with the public at an event. So as soon as I get more information, I will let everybody know. But I was also like, well, I can't tell you right off the bat if this is coming together. You can already see it. You can already see it coming together. I can't tell you how many of our people. They're like, so let us know how many of your people you think would be interested. And I was like, well, I can't really tell unless I can tell them what the projects are about. And they're like, well, you don't share it yet. We'll let you know when you can share it, because we want to make sure that we've got our ducks in a row first with our lugs. And we're all like, no, that sounds great. I was like, honestly, I think a lot of the people in our group are probably collaborative and giant part order fatigue. So we may not get a ton of people. It's also, this is going to be for Brick Rodeo 2026, but also there's another event that they're doing with it. And I'm like, it also depends on who down here is willing to travel up to, already with the turning. That's so cool. So as soon as I get more info, I'll let everybody know, but they looked pretty cool. The ideas looked cool. And the magic word here from Lego, or that Lego wants to hear, is, of course, interactive, right? Getting the public involved. So still said that we didn't get ours, but what are you gonna do? What else is going on? Yeah, so today was a big, and there's a printed, oh my goodness, there's a printed side on that slope. It's got little eyeballs. It's got 3 little lines printed on the side of it there, on each side. I've never seen that. That's pretty rad. And that flips back in there. And then here's your cassette tape. This will give you an idea about how big Soundwave is going to be. That's the cassette tape. So, and then we'll do a transformation. Let's see, what is it? Like this? Like that. And then open up the wings. What are we doing now? Oh. And this is pretty much your that's your laser beak. And then it's gonna ask you to build the little weapons that goes with it. Yeah, I'm not shocked that I haven't heard about our order yet. It is a little disconcerting, but we did wait till like the day before the deadline, so we were pretty much dead last. I wouldn't be surprised if we got it before got the invoice even before the end of the month. I have a feeling because project support also ends at the end of July, the window to apply, anyway, that we might get it right around then. Oh, good use of a pot. Got these pot pieces, little pot planter pieces. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is all coming back to me now. All these little things that you had to kind of ditch when they turned into robots, because you couldn't keep them together. Once they turned into vehicles or whatever, you had to get rid of all the blasters and stuff. Some of them you could find a place to store them, but not all of them. I'm guessing the next bag is going to be starting Ravage. So this all reminds me of the 1986 movie, the Transformers 1986 movie, and how awesome that was. And if you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend it. It's very good. Still holds up. Like, there's some very 80s bits to it, but like the music's great. I really enjoy it. Ask George about the music. He knows what I'm talking about. I was like, it's very metal, and he's like, this is metal? And I'm like, okay. All right, so there's Laserbeak. It's actually a lot bigger than I remember it being in the toy version. So that's super cool. I'm very excited. Little feet. Just like the tape, just like the toy. So we put him there. Got a lot of extra pieces for that. Lovely. We did get an extra Decepticon tile. So we got an extra one of those. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I have a feeling that since there are a couple of cassettes, like I think there's another bird version and another cat version. It's Rumble, or it's Rumble Ravage, Frenzy, Ratbat, and then Laserbeak. I think Ratbat is similar to Laserbeak. Rumble and Frenzy are the guys with the pile drivers. So if you want, there's more of these little tiles. You could build your own cassettes. So I think that's cool. Put it on your bridge back to show your... Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. I can put it on the top of my little bridge badge on the top of the Texas flag. Because I don't think I got one for an Autobot that size. So... this one just looks like the start of... But I don't know. It may be the whole tape. Shake out all the pieces out of that. There's a scene in the Transformers movie, the 1986 movie, where it's a great scene. The Decepticons are attacking Autobot City, and the Autobot counterpart to Soundwave, his name is Blaster, and he's just he's a boombox. And he's trying to contact Optimus Prime. So he's sending a message to Cybertron, a distress call to Cybertron. And the whole beginning scene of the Decepticons attacking Autobot City is so good. It's got one of the best music. It's got one of the best songs. The animation's fantastic. It really shows off the G1 robots in quite a fantastic way. At their kind of like at the height of their skills, and you know the Decepticons are terrifying, and the animations on the transformations look really good. But Megatron tells Soundwave, "Hey, stop that up there." They're sending a message, "Stop that." And so, and I just remember in the movie theater going crazy because this is the first time we've seen Soundwave do anything up to this point. And so he just says all four of them, and he just opens up his little chest, and like a bunch of tapes just go shooting out. And they all head up to this little turret thing, and one of them smashes the glass, and they all jump in, and they're attacking the two Autobots in there. And the telescope guy, Perceptor, says, "Save yourself." And God, I can't remember his name now. I just said it 2 seconds ago. Boomer? No, it's not Boomer. Oh, what's his name? Anyway, the equivalent to Soundwave. He says "sick 'em" and does this and pushes, and his tape deck opens, and a bunch of Autobot tapes go shooting out, and it's just this little battle of all these little tapes fighting each other. It's so great. Almost the high point of the movie for me. Blaster, that's his name, Blaster. Such a good movie. Good voice cast too, like kind of a shockingly good. It's kind of set the standard for famous people lending their voice to a cartoon movie, and it feeling a little weird. You know, you're like, really? So when you see things like any new movie now with like Jack Black as a voice, or Chris Pratt or something like that, shouldn't be much of a shock. They apparently have been doing it forever. So far. There's somebody who's asking for on Rebrickable. I hope that they understand this. That they had messaged me on Rebrickable because they saw that I had a microfighter version of the Malevolence from Clone Wars, and because they just saw a picture because I had posted it somewhere, but they're like, "Do you have the instructions for this?" I couldn't see any on your list of models up in here. And I was like, well, I can't really, like, I don't want to do it because it's not my design. So I have it up because I did it for myself, like, and then I rendered it in Studio and was like, hey, look, I'll be able to build this later. This is cool. And they're like, well, can you make instructions? I was like, well, I can, but I don't want to put it up on Rebrickable because it's not my design. If I got a hold of whoever designed it, and this is an old design, years and years ago, I doubt the person I can find them. But I was like, I tell you what, I'll just send you the IO file for Studio, and you can open it up in the program and, build from there. And so I was like, and I attached it to the message in Rebrickable, and they're like, it just shows up as numbers. And I'm like, well, download it, and then you should be able to open it up in Studio. Like, I think it'll change the file name to something, but you can still open the file, right? And I tried it myself and was like, yeah, I can do it. Looks like a butterfly. It's very nice. And they just kept coming back going, no, it's not working. And I'm like, all right, well, do you have an email? I can send you the IO file. Like, I'm worried that just the link is changing it. And then I noticed that it looked like they were trying to open it on an iPad. They sent a screenshot. They're like, this is what I see. And I see like Safari buttons up at the top and like a battery indicator. And I'm like, you're opening this up on an iPad or something. I was like, do you have Studio installed? Like, you have to have the program installed, and then you have to go into it and say open from wherever you've saved this to. Like, it's not a PDF with instructions. So, and I haven't heard back, but I'm like, oh, man, I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. So, it might be a bit confusing. But if you attend George's seminar on how to work Studio, which is gonna happen at some point, right? Then you wouldn't have these problems. Oh, really? Yeah, that sucks. I found one or two microfighters out on, I don't even remember where it was. It wasn't AliExpress, but I did find the Q2 Stadium on AliExpress. And for a good week or so, I was just bombarding them every couple hours. This isn't your model, take it down. This isn't your model, take it down. And then I went back and put a watermark on mine, but I mean, at that point, it's already too late. They've got the instructions. And the thing is, they could have gone and bought the model for 10, or bought the instructions for $10, and then sold a bunch of them for however much they wanted to, and then, that's how they make the money. So it's frustrating because there's literally nothing you can do about it either. I mean, there is, but you can go through there's like a reporting process, but it's so convoluted and it takes you all these different links and you have to fill out all these forms. And then even then they're like, we can't guarantee that this will, because it's like an IP violation, which for something like I built, it's hard to say that whoever stole it violated intellectual property, because I'm building something that's violating intellectual property, basically, by making Star Wars stuff. Now, if it was one of your buildings, I can understand, because that's some people might like the likeness of the building might be a trademark. So, but yeah, whenever, man. Studio is simple enough. Like, I feel like an hour and a half talk that I usually do at Brick Rodeo is enough for people to kind of get started. And it's easy enough that you could probably, if you have any experience with any kind of CAD program or design software, it's going to be pretty easy to pick up. Like, it's not super complicated, but I appreciate the idea of having a curriculum that you can read from. And here again, another printed side of the slope there. Or as Lego calls these bows. These are 1x2 bow. And I did not get an extra tile, Decepticon tile in this one. Yeah, I would assume it is. So if like Minute Maid Park, like your version of it is, it's probably under fair use because you're doing a recreation of it and you're not making money off of it. Like if you were to try to sell the design on Rebrickable, maybe, but like that's such a gray area. All right. And I don't fully understand it myself. Like I don't understand what allows me to do what I'm doing or what anybody does by making models of things from TV shows and movies. All right, there's your Ravage. This looks a lot like the, oops, those are backwards. These look a lot like my little horse people, or the little horse robots from Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, eerily, like, oh, come on, man. I know for sure the UT... Okay, what is going on with this thing? The UT Tower is very protected because it is trademarked through the... Oh, the deuce. I don't even know how to get this off of here. Good crime and Italy. Like, you cannot use the likeness of the UT Tower for anything unless you paid the athletics department a pretty dollar. I found out after trying to donate my Lego model of it to them, and they're like, we don't know what you want with this. I'm like, I want to give it to you guys. So there's your... There's your guy, and now I think it's gonna make the little cannons for his back. These are gonna be just the opposites. So I'm gonna try to build them opposites, so mirrored instead of two at a time. I think that'll work. Shirley, what could go wrong? Speaking of Don't Call Me Shirley, has anyone seen Naked Gun yet? And if so, how was it? It looks funny. I've heard it was pretty good. Got some silver head pieces. I found the set. I don't remember what theme it is, but in a Lego catalog they had at the counter there was a picture of what looked like M-Tron, honestly. And it was like a big red tank thing with these like trans green wheels. But it's the thing that has it's going to have the dark blue helmet for Classic Space. That was part of the Build-A-Fig thing. Oh wait. Yeah, what could go wrong? Okay, so this goes in here. This goes in here. These guys go here. I was like, sweet. Well, now I know that I'm gonna have to buy it off of Bricklink, because I probably won't buy that set. He's got a little nubby tail. And there's your Ravage with his little detachable things on him. Cool. And yes, they will turn back into tapes. So, did it turn this guy back into a tape? No, this guy got left out. So this guy has instructions about how to turn him back into a tape. So we're gonna do that real quick. Actually, not quite yet. I'm gonna leave these guys out. Okay, so onto the main build. I don't like this one. It's too jangy. Muscle and muscle relaxers. I went to the doctor this week, finally, for my ribs. If you haven't been appraised of the saga of the past 2 months, Beth and I both got a cold a while ago, and I'm prone to this, though. I get cramps in the muscles in your ribs, the intercostal area, I guess it's called. If I stretch too weird, they'll cramp up, which is terrible because the whole reason they cramped is you were stretching. And the only way to get like rid of a cramp is to kind of stretch it, or just let it happen, right? And so there's no good way to like, well, which way do I need to move to, I can usually put my arm against the door jamb and try to like stretch out or something, but it's frustrating. So anyway, when I get colds, they're in my head for a while, and then everything drains into my chest, and then I cough for a month, right? It's just the way it happens. And I haven't gone to a pulmonologist, but I've gone to an ENT, and they've run some tests, and they're like, well, I mean, you look like you've got some irritants in your throat, and try some nasal sprays, and try nasal flushes, and have an inhaler. So I've tried all these things, and I don't know if it makes the cold better or not. I still get congested, and I still get cough, but at one point I coughed hard enough, and I was laying in bed reading, and I was trying to get up because it's more comfortable if I sit up and cough than if I try to cough on my side. So I was trying to sit up in the middle of the coughing fit, and it hurt. Like I was trying to lean up on one side, and it hurt this area in my ribs. So, and it just never healed. It would get slightly better and slightly better and slightly better, and then it would get worse, and then it would get better, and then Monday night was it Monday night? We were washing Aggie. We need to do like a rinse on her butt, on her incision. And I was holding her, and kind of twisting funny to keep her in the bathtub while Beth washed her. And I started coughing again, and I tried to stand up as I was coughing and kind of look away, and it twisted funny, and I hurt it really bad. And I had to put the dog down, and it was spasming, and I couldn't breathe. Or I had a hard time taking a deep breath because it would hurt. So I had to call the doctor, went in, they did an x-ray, no broken bones, and they gave me muscle relaxers. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I hope this works. So anyway, and they're supposed to make you sleepy or dizzy or drowsy, and they don't. I'm glossing over the fact that there is a 1x3 Technic piece. I haven't seen one of those yet. So there's 2 of them in here. 1x3 Technic piece. And I haven't seen these either. These are newish to me, yellow Technic pins. I'm glad they're aware of like the colors that are seen through some joints. And also we've got these. So these cool pieces in blue. We've had them in gray, black, I think red. So some of these too. These are fun stands. And then those guys, those light blue. They look like they are, it's gonna be hard to tell. They're without friction. So they don't have the little, you can tell, there's a little, close to the middle ring, there's like extra studs or extra bits. Kind of, yeah, it's not focusing in. That's gonna be a problem later. You can kind of see, yeah, these are like the gray ones that you get. They're the loose ones. So they're not the friction tight ones. Oh yeah. Yeah, very loose. These are very loose. So they're for something. I'm sure it's just holding something in place, but you put them in a brick and spin them. Come on, man. Die on this freaking hill of hating, absolutely hating Technic. Hate it. Man, ugh, problems with our landlord. Last month, we found out that Beth's bank doesn't do like bank-to-bank transfers anymore. So for those in Austin who use Velocity, they've apparently started following some new banking law that doesn't allow bank-to-bank wire transfers anymore or something. So I don't know. Zisoo, how's it going? Good to see you. So she had to figure out a different way to send him money for rent. And he's like, well, we have Zelle. She's like, could you do Venmo or something? He's like, we have Zelle, which is still like a bank-to-bank thing, pretty much. Because you have to give your banking info to it. Anyway, so So anyway, they switched banks, and now I gotta, like, as soon as I get off this call, I gotta figure out how to, yeah, off this stream, is figure out how to turn off that, the automated, 4x4 tile. Look at that nonsense. And a dark lung 1x, what is that? It's a 1x10 in dark blue. Interesting. So now I gotta go mess with my bank after this is done. So my rent payment isn't late. They're very good about, like, hey, our bank screwed this up. It's gonna be late. And they're like, you're fine. We are so rarely late on anything. So they're very nice about it all. But it's just kind of like, man. Oh, frick. Have I told you how much I love Technic? I was watching somebody's channel and they called it Technique. Like, oh, I don't like Technique bricks. It's like, what did you just call them? I don't think that's the right phrase there, buddy. Hopefully I get all this Technic stuff done right, because I'm sure there's going to be a component that flips something with a switch. We've got these in dark blue. Did I mention that? Yeah, getting pins into holes, especially if it's like an awkward angle, because sometimes you can kind of rock, you can kind of get this is bad because the black's not showing up, but if it's got that slit in it, you can kind of put that slit against it like that, and then push it in, like kind of roll it in a little bit because it'll compress. But that step in here didn't have that. I couldn't do that. Like, you just had to basically kind of force it. And it just, smushes your fingers really bad. First world Lego problems. No, my fingers. So what are you up to, Zissou? Oh yeah, the rover was really bad. This one was bad too, the Perseverance. It was like the entire side of it was like 8 pins or something, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna. And usually you feel like if you angle it, you're like, if I could get 1 pin, the rest roll in, that's even worse. Like, it's better just to, if you roll all the pins, if you twist them so they're all facing one way, like all the slits are kind of lined up, you can kind of smush them in. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. The time frame for all the NASA stuff, it was the Artemis, the buggy, I think that was it. Both of those are very hard, which is why they are expert builder level, whatever. I'm getting so salty in my old age about people with Lego and instructions, and like, why does it take you that long to build that? Like, I watch people say, hey, this month I'm working on bag 5 of this set. I'm like, this month? What do you do the rest of the time? Like, I don't know. and very excited about building one part at a time, one step at a time. I don't know. Everybody can do their own thing. I just get so excited. Like, I couldn't wait to get home and build something from the store. I don't know how people do delayed gratification on waiting that long to get something done. But if they just like building, it doesn't matter how fast it gets done, then that's up to them. Sticker time. Sticker. This is the play button. You intentionally, yeah, I couldn't go that slow. Like, it's gonna take everything. Like, if Beth wants to stream together on Sunday, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, but I'm gonna be building Soundwave next to you. I can't wait that long. Koi. I wonder what component this is. It says it's the play button. And it's got non-friction. So I'm guessing there'll be a thing to push. Uh-oh. Missed something. When did those go on? A while back, eh? Wow, Becky. Oh, those flashings on the top. That's not good. I have a feeling I'm going to put those face down so I don't see them and it doesn't drive me crazy. I think I read somewhere that there's some deals going on at Kroger's. They have like money off of like 20% off of some Lego stuff. So if you have a Kroger's nearby, go check it out, see if that's the case. Hey, yeah, what's up, Walter? Yeah, I didn't do last night because we were out doing trivia. So I was like, well, I'll make it up today. I have today off, and I've got some, get some new sets. And just see how it goes. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know that Austin has a Kroger either. If we do, it's like one. I think we got one. Because I think it's owned by Albertsons or Safeway, one of the two, and I think they got rid of them all in Austin. I appreciate that this set has a lot of parts going in each. Can't really see that. Each step has a lot of parts going in. Mariana will also do a live tomorrow after months off. She will be with best friend building the Plo Koon microfighter. Excellent. I will do my best to tune in. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. Where I used to live, they had a larger Kroger and a full toy section. Oh, nice. Yeah, we had some in Denver growing up, and I think even after I moved here, I'm trying to remember if they had them in Houston when I moved there in 98, 97. But then we moved out to Austin, and I don't remember if they had any or not. Okay, I think that's all. And that. And that. Again, these 3x3 plates in dark blue, that's kind of big. It's a good part. Mirror these. Oh God, these. I feel like these are extra stiff or something. My fingers are not happy about any of this. Technic stuff. Yeah, usually Zissou, it's Walter and Mariana doing builds together. She does most of the building, but he builds along with her. But she's been in school, or she's been on vacation or something, so she hasn't really had time to. So that'd be cool to get to see her building again. This is getting annoying. This thing keeps falling backwards, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong. All right, yeah, there's nothing behind that, so I can't be doing something wrong with that. Some really good, we've got these aren't new hinges. If you watch Brady Joyner Bricks, Justin's channel, TikTok or YouTube, he's going over the Fortnite mech, the big, weird pink and green mech thing, and I think it's Fortnite. It's not Dreams, but it's got one of the new hinges in it, and it's severe. Like, it's a really solid hinge piece. Mech people are going to be very excited about the stability of giant knee joints now. Yeah, for sure. That's more important, honestly. YouTube comes and goes, but you got to get that education. All right, times 2. I'll put either of those. Speaking of hinges and knee stuff. Oh, it's going to be technical. So get in there. Big old fat hinges for his legs. Yeah, they do microfighters. Microfighters for life. What am I on? 4? Wow, it's already after 3. This may be the last bag of the day, but we'll see how fast we can get through it. Because this is a big one, and it's got this play brick in it that's got some important stuff going on. So it may have something to do with this. We'll find out shortly. Wow, you have 105 built microfighters? That's incredible. I don't have any idea how many I have. I've got all of, and they're all together. They're in individual Ziploc bags, plastic bags. I should stop saying Ziploc because they're not all Ziploc. Some of them are just plastic bags. This is such a great color scheme. The dark blue and the yellow. It's very pleasing to look at. So I've got about 60 or so of mine done, plus whatever actual sets are out. So probably about the same, roughly. That'd be a fun afternoon thing to do, is go through all my microfighters and see how many I've got. I did a couple new ones that we did at the comic convention. But man, like, I like the display. I like putting up the display and people seem to enjoy it. But it's such a pain because you're basically rebuilding 60, 70 very small Lego sets because they don't stay together. Some stay together pretty good. Some completely fall apart. I think I relayed the story of the guy dressed as Admiral Akbar and he wanted to hold the B-wing and it just crumpled in his hands and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I told you it was fragile and it's fine because it'll get put back together. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it takes a while. I might put them all together and get a nice picture on my table or something. Nice. Yeah, and if you guys haven't watched their channel, I highly recommend it. She's adorable. She giggles a lot. Well, that's my problem too, Valters. I need a way to display it, and I had a method for displaying, but it's kind of clunky, and it takes up a whole tote just to carry this stuff around. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do it. I've got a year, I can figure out a different method of displaying it. For next year, I'll bring them to Brick Rodeo next year. Because I'm using like old backup cassette, 1-inch backup cassette cases, and because they fit kind of a microfighter, right? So I know I've got this many wide, and then I can stack them so it elevates as it goes back. So I can put one row pretty close to the front of the table or on the table, and then a raised one to, so on. But it's limited by the width of a table. So if I only have one table, that's all I can do. But if I get two tables, I can spread it out a little more. Oh yeah, that too. Like I'm only putting mine on like 1x8 stands. You're doing a whole thing with them. I kind of wish Lego would have done that originally with the microfighters. I think that would have been cool to have them on little stands. Another excuse to get more parts. It looks better as a display. But, whatever. I had to get in it with somebody on Blue Sky, and I mean get into it. Like I made one post and they were kind of like agree to disagree. So it wasn't like a big throwdown or anything, but it's the post on Blue Sky, and it's kind of the same as the post on Twitter, where people just go to complain, and there's really no getting them past whatever their thought is, right? But they were like, it was somebody who basically said they didn't understand why so many people like Lego so much, because all you're doing is building it, and then they're like, the build process may be fun, but then you just kind of set it and leave it alone. Like, I think the mentality was they think they're losing a lot of customers by having stuff that's not really playable. And, not with figures or anything like that. I should bring up the actual post because it was kind of funny. And I'm like, do you think people making Lego sets just stop when the instructions are done? That's 20% of your journey with Lego, you know. Once you're done building it, take it apart and build something else. Why are you stopping with just the instructions? Okay, this is interesting. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Is this a look? This must be a look. This step right here where it's 3 plates in a row. Why? Why am I doing this? Why don't we not have a brick in here? This must be for a look of some kind. I have no idea. Like that may be the sidewall. Maybe they were already printing plates, and to save on element time or element cost, they're like, we don't want to do another 1x2 brick because they don't have any in here. So, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Brian. I was thinking about maybe, because I don't know that I have enough Technic to make a big display thing. But that's definitely a possibility. I do have a lot of those like 8x16 tiles. I don't remember where I got them. I don't know that I have enough for like a full table's worth of them, or enough Technic to make like big frameworks that I could put things on. But that was a consideration. I did want to maybe build something that was a little more showy or collapsible. There's this guy who does like Mini Trek, I think it is, where he does kind of the same thing as I do, but it's not microfighters. They're just very small Star Trek ships. They're about the same size, but there's no figures in them. And he's got a really good display, but it's a lot more spread out. And I think they are brick built. But he also has some like tablecloth coverings, so they're nice and black and they look like toy display bits. I'm gonna have to look into it a little more, but I got a year. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll go check it out, see if I can get some stuff. Maybe that'll be worth a little bit of dough to get a good display for it all before next year. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just buy the set. Like, I'm gonna build this and it goes on a shelf as a display. But I also know that there's a lot of sets that I get that aren't this. Like, the bird sets, the plant sets probably will keep together. A lot of the Star Wars sets, anymore I'm getting sets that I really, really want instead of just getting more Lego. Because I know I can get bulk Lego through the lug, through bricks and minifigs. I can just buy the parts I need from Bricklink. I've got years worth to sort through still. Like, I've got parts. But I don't think everybody has that. And so they're thinking of, well, I built this once. Now where do I get all the bricks to build something else? It's like from the thing you just built. Take it apart and build something new. But I want to keep it on display. It's like, okay, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So you got to make, that's it. That's a you decision. But I don't think it's enough to kind of negate the whole, not industry, but the whole product line, because, you know, you don't have an idea of how you want to exist with Lego, what your journey is with Lego. And again, not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but when you come at me, you gotta come true. I'm gonna let you know. I like how it, you know, these little silver 1x1 things in there. That's the way to do it. You You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Speaking of, August 1st is also MTV's birthday. I think it's 45 years old. Forget. I saw a thing today that was like, happy birthday MTV. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be the last bag for the day. It's going very, very slow. But that's cool. Gives me more to do later. Aha, thanks for that. I'm gonna line that up like that for some reason. I'm digging all these 1x5 pieces. Trying to think of if there's another unique, fun way to display microfighters, like on a big board and have like big push pins on them, like I've caught them, like a bug thing. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be huge. I had them all labeled too. I also want to do again this year, or this next year, do the have a scavenger hunt as part of the convention, where I got to figure out if I want to have a friend write an app for it again, or if I want to just kind of have a link that goes to a Google Sheet or something. But I think that was fun the time I did it. I'm trying to think of how to like do it as something people can get prizes for. Because I don't necessarily want the public to do it, but maybe just like Thursday or Friday for the all access people. But because you know, if everybody in the public does it, that could be thousands of people, and I don't know what you'd be able to offer thousands of people who might play it as a prize. Honestly, and I forget what I did last year or last time. The final battle of the last movie. Here's where we stand so far. Yeah, that'd be really funny. Something where somebody just shouts, "You're not alone," and then they look back and suddenly every ship in the galaxy shows up. And not one of them ran into each other. That shocked me. That's some good hyperspace technology right there. There were bits of that movie that I liked. There were bits that I didn't. I just wish the bits that I liked were more than the bits that I didn't. I don't want to get into a whole Star Wars thing here, but ooh, these in yellow. It's pretty cool. Got some newer colors for these lately. I think they're finally coming to realize that these are pretty good pieces. Very useful. Give out free subscription to my YouTube channel. Well, if I had a paid subscription, I could give out free subscriptions to the paid version, free access to that, but I don't have. I know you're just joking, but it's like that would be something. Like You get You get a year's worth of Patreon access for winning. I thought maybe just have like I'd print up like 100 stickers or something, or a couple hundred stickers. I don't know. I honestly don't remember what I did last time. I think just to say that you did it, but that seems kind of like crisp high five. Here you go. You know, that's nobody wants that. You get to take a photo with the creator. You get a selfie with the creator. While I do appreciate having a lot of pieces in each step, I am missing things. So I need to slow down. Yep, it's not for everyone. I finished, speaking of sci-fi stuff, I finished Murderbot on Apple Plus. That was a hoot. That was a lot of fun. It was better than it had any right to be. I know the book was highly regarded. I didn't care for the book all that much, but I think I had a bad audiobook. I think the reader was not doing the book justice. I think if I just read it, it probably would have been okay. Which is why I think I'm just going to get a copy of Project Hail Mary, because I'm spoiled by whoever's reading The Expanse. So I think for Project Hail Mary, I just want to get the book. I'm also listening to a Star Wars novel called Catalyst. It's about the interaction mostly between Galen Erso and director Orson Krennic, in the time period between basically the fall of the Republic and Rogue One, right? So that's where this story takes place, and it's mostly... I've kind of lost track of it because some of it seems like, what am I even listening to? It's very much, they did that, then they did that, then they did that. And it's kind of like, okay, got these, dark blue, that's pretty cool. And it's weird to get a book that has so many sound effects. Like it's a radio play almost. I think I talked about this. But yeah, I kind of want to get Project Hail Mary on just a paperback or a hardback or something. I would check it out from the library, but it's got like a 9-month hold on it. Like everybody wants a copy of it before the show starts, or before the movie comes out. Whoops. I'm missing something. The other thing about making the final battle scene hilariously with microfighters, I'd have to get all the microfighters that I have, including all the store-bought ones, minus the walkers and things like, surface effect vehicles. And have them face off against, I would have to build like 200 of those. It's not Exegol class, but it's the Star Destroyers that were at Exegol, which were apparently 3 times the size of a normal Star Destroyer or something. And I think that'd be fun on a microfighter scale. Just facing off against each other. Talk about a serious investment in parts. Alright, I got that right. This is going to be an internal thing where I've got to get this just right. I'm having flashbacks to the Nintendo, where I got it all complete, and the cartridge eject function wasn't working right. because I had a cheese slope turned 90 degrees off of where it should be. And so like it wasn't doing a release, like a catch and then release on the spring. And it took the whole thing apart. I was like, what did I do wrong here? All right, so it's always gonna fall back, isn't it? There was nothing behind this play button, so it keeps falling backwards. I'm hoping something goes in there. Because nothing is stopping that from going all the way backwards, which makes me feel like I did something wrong. Oh, nope. Very next step. Gotta put this in there. Okay, so this is thanks to the Lego Sound Brick. This is the first Soundwave figure to feature both sound effects from the Transformers series and newly recorded dialogue lines only found in this model. Wow! Alright, so let's see. It's got a little waveform speaker on the front, a little play thing on the back. It doesn't say, there's no like battery to take out here. So it's live and ready to go. I'm going to put all the bricks on it, and then before I put it in there, we're going to see what it says. But I'm going to make you wait while I put all the tiles on the top of it. I don't know why it's doing. I think this is to make it look like it's his head. But there's some great dark blue tiles for that. I'm excited. What's it gonna say? I'm gonna mute. Well, you don't have to mute it. Nice. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Can you guys hear that? That's pretty cool. Well, that's pretty cool. So that goes in here. Should slide into here, right? And that's gonna close up there, and then every time you hit the play button. All right, well, that's pretty rad. I'm excited for that. That's fun. That takes me back. Somebody's a kid of the 80s. Like, I'm glad I was a kid of the 80s. There are times when I wish I was older in the 80s. So, like, you know, I would be in college in the 80s. Because I feel like there was a lot of music that would have been really great to kind of identify with when you're a older teenager or into college as a young adult or something. But I'm really glad that I was around for the toys. I don't think this is right. I guess it is. Okay. Oh, there's only one. And this will all be to hold this guy in place. That's pretty smart. So on each side, you don't have to have a very long axle, and you don't have to have different bushings on either side. As long as you've got that cap on either side, it'll hold it in place. It's a pretty good building technique there. This goes like that. Technique. Skinner. Cool. Nice. All right, 20 minutes to go. Let's do another bag, and then we'll call it after that. So this is now bag 5, including this piece, which I'm guessing is the, I don't want to manhandle it too much. That's very pretty. That's going to be the front cassette thing, and that's a very nice print of that logo on there. So this I can put over here because I can recycle that differently. Oh, this doesn't look like too big of a bag. I think we can do this. So I haven't heard from Beth yet about if she can stream on Sunday, but she now has several sets on which to choose from on what she wants to build. I got her the, what's it called? It's the Alphabella and Glinda, the buildable figures with the big faces, like the Bratz figures looking figures from Wicked. And it comes with like a little set behind it, a window or a mirror or something. And then she also has a Friends Wicked set that's like the castle or the Emerald City or something like that we got from Bricks and Minifigs. That's missing some pieces, but it was kind of as is. It's pre-built, so I'm sure she'll pick something and do a build stream, but it's up to her work schedule. And I very much appreciate, and I don't know why she's suddenly taken such an interest in this. I have a feeling, and this is exactly what they want to hear, I have a feeling it was because of Lego Masters. But also, I think Lego Masters got her interested because we knew, and this was before we knew he was in the show, we knew that a friend of ours was in it, right? And I think that's the only reason I watched. And it's the only reason she watched. But even after they got eliminated from the show, we still watched the show. So I think that got her interested, and she started asking a lot of questions, and then decided she wanted to go to Brick Rodeo, and thinking that it would be fun to meet all these people, right? And when we got there, it was very much, I didn't realize this is kind of what went on here. A lot of creative building, everybody's so very nice, and getting ideas of things that she'd want to do, not realizing what could be done. Like I send her pictures and stuff. I'm like, look at these great builds. And she's like, and she's scrolling on her phone. She doesn't. I've always done Lego stuff, but if somebody, you kind of have to find it yourself. Like I can't make her interested in it. She has to figure that out. But I think she has now, so I think that's fun. And it's going to be at her own pace. She doesn't have the time to like I do, just sit here for a day and mess around with Lego. But two of those. But it's fun nonetheless. And by next year, she may have a mock registered for Brick Rodeo, according to her. So we'll see if that stacks up. We'll see if that snaps into place. Schmutz bricks. There's a lot going on here. So yeah, she likes doing the streaming too because she likes talking about how she views the hobby and some mental health awareness stuff. So that's always fun. Well, that's what I like. That's been my biggest selling point is, you know, it may seem like there's just a lot of stuff, but it actually is very, you know, sorting all the parts, building it all while you're building it. It's, you know, you can turn your brain off a little bit, which I think she would find very appealing. With you know, everybody's got crippling anxiety. So that is a good point. And if in 3 months she gives up on it, that's fine too, because that happens. People get swept up in something and don't realize that after a while it's like, nope, that's not for me. Oh goodness. Okay, so that's an eject feature. This is gonna push down and eject. So hopefully I did this right. All right. I'm trying not to get my mitts all over this thing so it stays nice. Also, if and when she decides that it's all very zen, I'm really going to push for helping sort. Especially if she's in here building with stuff. Like, all right, so you get to know where everything is in here. You should help me sort. That way you learn where all the parts are. That way when you want to build something, you know where all the parts are. Because I would love help with that. Also, I'm terrified of how much space I need to reclaim and get more storage space or more storage things, cabinets and such. And I don't want to expand the space too much, so I feel like I've been at a tipping point on how much I can put in here for a while, and I'm in denial about it. Like, nah, I'm fine. I won't run out of space anytime soon. Yeah, agreed. I love being able to just kind of dump a giant box of stuff out on the table and put on Lord of the Rings and just sit there and go through the pile. Not even, you know, just let your brain shut off. All I'm looking for is 2x2 plates, you know, and you get in your head, I'm just looking for these 3 or 4 pieces. You can't do too many, because if you're looking for more than like 7, like I've gone through with like 10 piles, I'm like, oh, that goes here, that one goes here. Your brain it might miss some piles or some pieces. So it's like, keep it just to a couple and go through the whole pile and pull out just those pieces. And then when you go through that pile and you've gone through it, you're like, okay, I'm fairly confident, 90% sure. I'm 90% sure I got 80% of the parts. Then you just start over with the pile and you go find another part. Well, this is the latch and button mechanism for Soundwave's cassette was among the first parts of the model to be developed and remained mostly unchanged from its initial form. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a problem. So there you go. It's flush. And then you hit the button and it opens. And then when you close it, that little button comes up. And it clips into place in there. You can see in there where it clips. That clip going into, it's not a bar, it's clipping it. It's a one clip plate that's connecting to a ratchet hinge plate or a click hinge plate. And it creates just enough pressure to hold it in place. And then when you push the button down, those two Technic pieces dislodge it. That is some high engineering. They push down on that cheese slope piece in there. So that's pretty cool. Well, I start first by color and then by type, but I don't have that luck to have bulk pieces. I always have small boxes. Well, I've got, it's not like I've got like a lug bulk thing to go through either. That's actually very easy because I get baggies. We always put them into baggies of individual parts. So I can just take that baggie and dump it in whatever part section I have. If I get a bunch of slopes, it goes in the slope bucket. If I get a bunch of tiles, it goes into the whatever tile bucket, right? It's the amassing, like I've got two 20-gallon, I don't know how big, the big totes. I got two of those full. Mostly my stuff that I've collected over the years, and I've just slowly gone through it. And then another that that I got off my brother, that's about the same amount, but he got different things, right? So there's going to be a lot of weird pieces in there that I don't, from different themes and stuff. So I don't know that I have the storage for some of those parts. So I'm afraid kind of to go through it. But it needs to happen. Mostly it needs to happen because I get frustrated at myself for ordering on Bricklink so much, knowing that I probably have the part, right? A simple part of some kind where I'm like, God, I know I've got this. I've seen it. I have the set. But then just not being able to find it. So I'm like, part of the sorting is to make sure that everything that you have available is available, right? And not hidden beneath tons of stuff. I usually grab a thing and then throw it into a brick, plate, tile, wheel, etc. bucket, and then I'll go back and sort the brick bucket by size. That's everybody's got a different way to do stuff. And it also depends on like you said, if you're sorting by color, if you're sorting by type. Mine is to the point where individual pieces have their own little. They either have a giant Sterilite bucket, or they have their own small drawer. In a lot of cases, I have a giant Sterilite bucket, but in it are all the same type of pieces in baggies, right? Like I have one drawer that's all plants, but each plant type is in a baggie in there. I just have to go through and go, I want this plant type, and I just pull out that baggie of that. And other ones are entirely full of like a giant drawer that's all plates that are larger than 4. So 6x6, 8x8, 6x8, 10 by whatever, big plates. So yeah, everybody's got their own kind of how they get it done. But it is hard to kind of get that initial. You got to do it every weekend. You got to get it done. So I'm going to try to get a little more done. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow too. Like I don't have anything really planned this weekend. Maybe a good sorting weekend. Yeah. Well, and that's disappointing when you've ordered the pieces and then you go look or you're sorting later and you're like, oh man, it was right here. Everything is on the right place from the location tag that connects to brick. Oh, cool. There you go. That's perfect. Because I kind of live in this room and I'm building a lot of mocks, I kind of know where all the parts are. I still run into issues every once in a while where I know I have the parts set aside. Like I know I've sorted them somehow, but then I've lost that whole section, that whole type. And that's when I get frustrated because I'll usually run into it later. I'm like, oh, that's where they are. I ended up ordering 5 of these and I had a whole bag of them. But because some of the areas I have are getting full, I just throw them all into a little baggie and put them kind of on top of whatever shelf they're nearby. So I have to remember to go, I don't have any in here. Let's look up. Are they in a baggie that's stacked up here somewhere? Because that might be it. On the bottom, like that. On the back. Uh-oh. Did I not do a tile? Oh yeah, there goes a tile right there. Right, y'all. All right, I feel like after this next section, we'll be done for the day. Yeah, right there. I can't even imagine doing brick stock for anything. I don't have like a brick link account for selling. And to organize it, it's the artistic mind of I'll just put it here and I'll remember that it's here. The organizational process that I think some people go through would drive me to drink. So you use brick stock to keep track of the bricks that you've got, right? I just don't know why I would do that to myself. Just to know that I have that. I think when I know I think the problem is I see what it is. You have it, so you've cataloged everything, so you know exactly how many parts you have, so that when you go to start building, you can just look at the account and go, okay, do I need any of these before I start building? I do, because I only have this many of this. Versus what I do, which is just start building and go, oh crap, I'm out of this. Right? And then I have to order parts because I find out that I'm out. When I'm building without instructions, without my own studio files, I think that's a little easier because I'm only building with what I have. But if I'm building out of a studio file, like I've designed something, that's when I start sifting through like, okay, these are the parts I already have for it. And for this project, I've already looked through everything, and I know I need these parts. So then I ordered from Bricklink. Wow, I am super impressed with your dedication. That takes some discipline. I can't get my hands into and out of the bins and stuff fast enough to build it, right? if I had to stop and go, okay, tick, this piece, tick, this piece, tick, take it all out, it would take forever for me to build. So applause to you. Yeah, but I mean, still, it does take, you're building somebody else's stuff, so you don't really have all the parts in front of you. You still have to be able to, organize it so you can get to it easy. It was the Zen time after dinner. God, my Zen time after dinner is playing video games. Well, this didn't take all that long either, so we're all done with this. There we go. On the back. So these are going to be arms. You can already tell what this is going to be for. Oh, they don't quite go all the way. Oh, there we go. So that's going to lock into place and be his arms. And then when he turns into the cassette deck, they're going to fold back and be on the side here like that. So, all right, that's as far as we're going to get today. We've got through, I forget how many I said, 12 bags. So this will be another 2-streamer, or maybe next stream will just be long and we'll get it done. But a couple of cassette tapes. We got the body pretty much done. The eject function on the tape deck works really well. Oh, let's do this real quick. Let's put this guy in. I can remember how he goes together as a tape. I think that flat folds back. These fold out. Just a guess. I could go back through the instructions, but think like that. This little tail goes in, and that's your tape. So he should be able to fit in here like that. Cool. There you are. That's pretty rad. All right, cool. Well, I will be back on Sunday. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd love to see it. Go post it on the Discord. If you guys aren't on my Discord, let me see if I can get to it real quick. Put a thing in the chat. Feel free to stop by, share your builds, share your mocks, share your whatever you're doing with storage. And would love to hang out and chat with everybody. Yeah, so I'll either be back on Sunday to do more of this, or I'll be with Beth and she'll do some Wicked stuff. Once this is done, I've got a lot of other stuff to build, but I may take a break and do some more studio stuff because I do want to continue doing that. That's what I like to do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I hope you have a really good weekend. Happy Friday, and a good rest of whatever you plan on doing this weekend. I hope you get some Lego and some other stuff going on. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.